All right, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Hoshai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Hoshai, Halfly Yahweh, Hoshai, Brakta Hoshakadash. Double honor to the older apostle, great millstone, who will, and sincere citation of Ankh and the preaching of truth, across the four corners of the earth, to the pure and power Yahweh, outside of the hope of elect, and who the world literally call God is named Yahweh, and who the world literally call Jesus Christ is named Yahweh Shai. Or the Hebrew Israelite that consist of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, and those who line descendants go back to Israel, tribe of Israel, due to the scattering among the nation. Nice dealing experience uploaded by the brother Chima's Watchman out of the New York camps. Posted this: China accused of the U.S. of serious violations of human rights against blacks. Watch. All right, I'm gonna put the clips at the end of the video, but basically saying, United States, had the so-called black people slavery, but it was more so had to do after slavery, with the whole brute brutality and stuff like that, which is shameful view. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 15, thou art filled with chains for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord, Harp shall shine right hand, shall be turned unto thee, and shameful feelings shall be on thy glory. Right, because your that so-called glory you have, it's a shame unto you. Like all the things that you had done, the so-called get that glory. All right, and other nations, even your own people, are calling it out, and now it's become a shame unto you. All right, it's no longer glory no more. Glory days are over. All right, now you're chained to all your secret and the atrocities and iniquities and wickedness you have done is being shown into the world. All right, and now that cup, it's for the judgment time, man. And you're gonna drink that cup. You can surely drink up that cup. All right, but Moab, which the Chinese are not off the hook either. All right, for what they had done. Okay, they're not off the hook because they had us in slavery and they benefited off of us being as lower state with Esau. Okay, this is Isaiah 11 and 14. It said, but they shall fly upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west. They shall forward them on the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab. All right, so Moab, you're gonna get it too. Okay, so you're not off the hook at all. Psalm 83, that confederacy. All right, it's the Psalm 83 and 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Below thy enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee lift it up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden one, and that's us. All right, the Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino American Indians. They don't be fooled because these fucking Chinese, they hate us, man. These groups, they hate us. They do not like us. All right, don't be fooled what they just calling America out on how they treated the so-called blacks here. All right, at the end of the day, they still don't like us. Verse 4, they have dared come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And Moab's a part of that. For they have consulted together with one consent, or agreement. They are confederate against these, the tabernacle of Edom, so-called white people, and Ishmaelite, so-called Arab, of Moab, and that's so-called Chinese. All right, and the list go on and on. All right. jump down to 15, that thou persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy thorns. Build their faith with chains, that they may seek thy name, O Lord Yahweh shall shine. All right, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yeah, let them be put to chains and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. All right, so you ain't getting off the hook, Moab. All right, the Second Ezra 15 and 46. And thou Asia, all right, which is Moab, so-called Chinese, that are partaker of the hope of Babylon, right? Because you join him with the so-called white man, all right? And art the glory of her person, will be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, right? Because you trying to be like America, all right? Kicking off the New World Order and all this stuff that we got going on. And had decked thy daughter in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lover, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her work and invention, therefore, you following the man, the so-called white man that everybody hates. All right? Say Yahweh, I will then plague upon thee widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilences, to wait thy house with destruction and death. And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower, the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lover shall not be able to receive thee. For I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith the Lord. If thou had not always slain my chosen, which is us, the Israelite, exhausting the stroke of thy hand and standing over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy confidence. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore shalt thou receive a recompense, a payback. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith the Lord, even so shall Yahweh do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall to the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thy shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for the very hunger of bread and thirst of water. Thou as unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plague again. All right, that's pretty much it on that, but, here we go down here, verse 55. It said, thy children shall thy carry away captives, and look, what thou hast days shall spoil it, and mar the beauty of thy face, right? Because it's our Moabites going to slavery as well. All right, go to hell with you. All right, it's cool that you figured out, but at the same time, you had a hand against us as well. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.
There has been an endless string of malicious incidents involving deaths caused by police brutality in U.S. law enforcement. In 2021, over 1,124 Americans died of police violence. Most of the victims were killed by the police in circumstances involving non-violent crimes or even without criminal behavior. The Lancet published a study showing that between 1980 and 2018, around 30,800 people died from police violence, and age-standardized mortality was about 3.5 times higher in black people than white people. There are frequent media revelations about torture, abuse, and violence in various detention facilities in the U.S., including private prisons. The Guantanamo Bay prison is infamous for the systemic abuse and torture of prisoners. The CIA, using the so-called War on Terror as a pretext, set up black sites in many countries where the so-called terrorist suspects were secretly held in arbitrary detention, and confessions were extorted by torture. And our spokesperson and many media outlets have made revelations that the U.S. floating prisons aboard 17 Navy ships and network of black sites in countries like Lithuania are more typical examples of how the U.S. prison system wantonly tramples on rule of law and human rights. The U.S. is in no position to claim itself a beacon or defender of human rights, still less to make wanton remarks about other countries' human rights conditions under false pretenses. China calls on Human Rights Council and the Special Rapporteur on Torture to pay closer attention to U.S. violation of human rights and urge it to adopt concrete measures to resolve relevant issues.
If you see something, say something.